Hey everyone, welcome to the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin,
I'm Blake.
and we are here today with another off-season interview. My opinion, and I'm not tooting his horn or anything, but one of my favorite NASCAR TikTok content creators, Nascarjon. What's going on, John?
What's up, guys? Happy to be on. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You honestly, I think you and Tyler Pennell were probably the first ones that started coming across my page when I started getting into NASCAR 2 years ago now, almost.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, dude, like great content, great stuff. I love seeing all the stuff from like the dirt track stuff going there and highlighting some of that. It's really cool to see that because we live right down the road from Sonoya Raceway.
Yeah.
So we go down there every once in a while. Literally, Bubba Pollard had to direct us out of there while there was a tornado coming through one night. So
Yeah, the last time we went.
yeah, that was an experience for sure. Because we're like Blake was like, I'm pretty sure that was Bubba Pollard, but I'm not 100% sure. He's like on a four-wheeler. We're like just trying to make it out of this gate before it swings on and dents the crap out of your truck. You know, fun times.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But you ready to get into some questions?
Let's get into it.
All right, Blake, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So overall, how long have you been a fan of NASCAR or just motorsports as a whole?
Yeah, really my whole life. Born into it. So I'm a third generation NASCAR fan. My grandpa was into it. He passed away a few years ago, but he was like a teenager when NASCAR got started. And my family's from Appalachia. So he was from the Appalachian Mountains, North Carolina. Grew up like right in the heart of NASCAR country, not far from like Hickory and Asheville and those places. So Tri-County was like the closest track growing up when I would go back home and see them. But like my dad with my grandpa, they went to Hickory Motor Speedway every Saturday night for like decades, like growing up.
Yeah.
My grandpa I think he went to the inaugural Southern 500, but he went to like 25 years in a row. Like he was,
Wow.
So we just have like a lot of roots into it. So it passed on to my dad and then passed on to me. So I've never not known a world where NASCAR is part of our life. It's just rooted in who I am. So I've been a NASCAR fan this whole time. I've kind of gotten more into IndyCar more as I was like a teenager, young adult, and then F1 kind of in the last few years. I guess, I'll be that pretentious guy and say I got into it before Drive to Survive. I actually did a summer internship, like a study abroad program in South Africa, in 2017. So what was funny is like F1's huge there because it's the global motorsport.
Yeah.
And so I would watch that, and my host family, the host dad was big into motorsports, but I would watch, like, if I could, I would watch some of the NASCAR races because they'd be on the same channel, and it would just be like the raw feed. Like it would be NBC or whoever, and then it would just be a raw feed, like, the dash cam or whatever. So that was how I got my NASCAR fix back in 2017.
Dang, that's wild.
Yeah. I'll out myself on F1. I am Drive to Survive's on Netflix. Let's see what this is about. Oh, this is cool. Let me start watching Formula One.
I have not dove super deep into F1, but what I do know about it is obviously from you, but then one of my buddies, his ex-girlfriend was big into F1, and whenever we would all hang out, he'd be like, I can't have y'all in the same room together for so long because y'all talk about NASCAR and F1 the entire time. And she's like, I don't understand the playoffs and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no one understands why they're there, honestly. So, I mean, let's just leave it at that. But I did get her to go to a NASCAR race.
Yeah, we took her to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so the next one,
We'll skip the
I was
next
about to
one.
say you kind of answered that one. It was like a what got you into NASCAR, so that makes sense. So, what got you into NASCAR content creation?
That's a great question. So I've always wanted to share about racing and connect with other people. And, over the years, I've had a few friends here or there who are into NASCAR or motorsports, but really it was my wife. She like gave me a kick in the butt at the beginning of this year, end of last year, and was like, you need to like talk about this online. You have a lot to say. And she jokes that everything she knows about racing is against her will. But she knows a
Yeah.
lot. She knows
Yeah.
a lot. And honestly, I was really looking for a creative outlet. It was kind of a time where I was I was just going through a time where I didn't have a lot of things to look forward to. And
Mm-hmm.
so it very quickly was like a light bulb for me as I started to post about it of like, oh, this is fun. I do have a lot to say. I
Yeah.
want to make content, and it just grew very quickly. Whether it was like opinions or talking heads, or even some of the like race related content of tracks
Yeah.
I've been to.
Yeah, I know the feeling, or well, not the feeling, but the statement of against my will, because that's my wife also. She knows a decent bit what I can get her to retain, but yeah, she's said that she's like it's against my will 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cuz when I got into racing, literally it was like her friend was dating this guy who was actually friends with Blake, and was like, hey, do you guys want to go to the NASCAR race in February? And we're like, sure, why not? I'm like, I think when I was like way younger, like growing up, my dad watched NASCAR up until probably about like 2008, 2009, give or take.
Okay, yeah.
Big Jeff Gordon guy. That's his when I got back into it, he's like, I don't know who to root for. And then I was like, well, you could just root for the 24, William Byron. He's cool. So, and he's a Byron fan. So,
Okay, that worked out well.
but we were like, yeah, we'll go. And then met Blake a few weeks before the race at a Super Bowl party. Then we went to the race. And then the first race I ever went to was the 3-wide finish at Atlanta. So
Incredible.
yeah, absolutely. Just, hook, line, and sinker brought me in.
Couldn't have picked a better first race if we
Yeah,
tried.
I know, seriously. And then literally picked my favorite driver there at that race because I was like, oh, I like body armor. Ryan Blaney. There we go. So
Worked out. Yeah.
yeah, it
I
worked
like
out.
body armor too. It works.
Yeah.
And that was the race where we had we'd won through a radio giveaway. My girlfriend won us VIP like or garage and pit passes with body armor. So the whole pre-race we were hanging out with Blaney, after driver intros and national anthem, we were like standing with the pit crew out there on the grid. And then we were like, all right, have a good one. And we went to the stands, and then at the end I was like, I took my chase hat off, found my body armor hat they gave me, and I'm like, please do this. Please do this.
Please win. And he didn't.
So close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally. And actually that tags perfect into our next question. Who are your favorite drivers?
Right. So, I mean, I am rocking the Ross Chastain, Busch Light hoodie right now. I do like Ross a lot. I would say he's like one of my favorites, probably not like in my top favorites, but like Trackhouse just has awesome apparel. And also, I'm a Busch Light guy, so I got to represent. My favorites, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin. I love Daniel Suarez. And then I would say kind of SVG and Ross are kind of in the pool of who I cheer for. So like generally 2311 and Trackhouse, those are if I'm generally cheering for those teams, those drivers.
Yeah, when it comes to design, that is like the top teams in my opinion. Like like the Jordan schemes from 2311 have been some of my favorites. Like
yeah, they've been awesome.
Chicago last year was freaking dope.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, they didn't do it this year, but like the Star Wars cars, Columbia Star Wars that they did with Bubba.
Yeah,
Like, I was really bummed they didn't do it this year because all of those have been phenomenal, and I'm also super bummed those have not been diecast. Like, I don't have a lot of diecast, but I would have shelled out some good money for those.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
Me too.
Also, literally, I have the dark saber mounted on my wall. It's like the Black Series saber. I spent way too much money on it. It was actually the first argument me and my wife had because I bought it like 2 weeks after we got married and didn't tell her.
Oops.
And yep,
big oof.
Learned real quick on that one. She was like, "Yeah, any purchase over like $100, just run it by me first, you know."
Generally, good rule of thumb. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
she's like, "Don't tell me if you're going to McDonald's. Like, I don't need to know that." But like,
yeah, she's like, "I don't care about that, but if you're gonna, you know, yeah." But yeah, no, I love all the Star Wars cars. Literally, originally on the table we had 4 cars out, but we found out that the way we have our table set up, it's not even. Because it's partially on a rug, and we had the Jeff Gordon episode 1 car, which is Blake's pulling it down right now.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites that I have. But yeah, no, I mean all the Columbia cars all look super dope, and I mean, and Trackhouse, like all the Busch Light cars freaking rip
Red
every
Bull
week.
cars are good.
Red Bull cars are good. So I know you said you're a Suarez fan. How do you feel about him going over to the 7?
Yeah, I'm sad that the Trackhouse era is over. Like, that felt like a fun era. But I do think like it's a fresh start, right? Like, and also as like just an objectively, like, I get why Trackhouse wanted Connor Zilic in that. Like, he's a phenom. Like, you have to make that happen. But I was a little bit worried that Suarez was going to get bounced around maybe the Xfinity series, which, like, if he ended up with Juniors Motorsports, that'd have been cool. But like, I'm glad he's still in the Cup Series, and I think, you know, Spire's definitely got speed, and they have a ton of resources. So I think it's like, once again, like another great opportunity for Daniel. I view it as like, he basically, if he produces this year, like, cool, he probably will be back. If he doesn't, Spire will continue to look, and probably, like, you know, the rumors, like, they're going to try and get Kyle Busch or a big name or something like that. So, I mean, I think if you perform, you keep that ride. If not, like, it's, you know, better learn Xfinity. Yes. So basically, just I think that if he produces this year, then I think he keeps that ride. Otherwise, it's back to probably O'Reilly series or something for him. Suarez, I think that he's got. Sorry, the whole thing's through me out. That this is I think it's a good opportunity for him. Spire's got fast cars. If he performs well, I think he's back. If he doesn't, I think that Spire's got the money and eager to move on to try and get bigger fish.
Yeah, because I think if there is a good candidate to break the curse of the 7 car, it feels like at this point, I think it's Suarez, because even though he wasn't the best performer like in the last year or 2 with Trackhouse wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for them taking a chance on him. So I think if there's somebody that can be a fresh face on a car and kind of bring it back to life, that's a good move. But I do kind of feel like it'll probably be the typical 1 year, you know,
reassess.
Sink or swim, reassess. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Kind of the what happened with Justin Haley.
Yeah.
So I feel like Blake's kind of the negative one out of the 2 of us, so we'll let him ask the next question.
So we'll go complete opposite. Now we'll say who are your least favorite drivers? I don't know. I find this a fun topic.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly, but I feel like it's fun to know. So, you know, if you like these drivers and you don't like these, sometimes it's fun to, I guess, put the pieces together in your head of like, oh, well, he likes Denny, so then this is why he doesn't like so-and-so, like that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of an outspoken Joey Logano hater.
Good man.
I just have never. So here's the thing. Like, I think Joey and Denny are actually very similar, but in very different ways. Like, I think that they're both these guys that like have sort of different personas off track versus on track. And for me, it's all about self-awareness. Like, Denny knows he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Joey doesn't, and then tries to be like I'm the good guy. Like everybody, okay, who are you, and who are you trying to be? Like Denny has even if you are just like, yeah, I hate him because he's a jerk. That's fine. He knows that he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and my girlfriend on our North Carolina trip, I think it was last year.
Oh,
for
are you about the
2311?
Yes, it was last year.
Okay, yeah, it was last year. So we were there on the grand opening day of Airspeed.
Cool, that's awesome.
And Denny was walking around, and I've never so he started out as one of my favorite drivers very early on, and then I grew to not like him as much over time, but now I've separated. I like Denny the person, the podcaster. I like Denny everywhere, but the second that he puts the race suit on and he's at the track. So and meeting him, like he stopped, took a picture with my girlfriend, said hey to us, like hope you enjoy 2311, and I was like, he didn't have to do that. So I was like, he definitely is the good side of the I'm this way at the track and this way not at the track.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's just I like the point on self-awareness. That's like the key difference there between the two of them. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you ask this next one because you kind of grouped it a little different when we did the last one. If you want to group it that same way, where are we at? We're at
the next
Oh,
one.
wait a second. We have one in between there. I completely forgot about that. I'll ask that one and then I'll do that one. Cool. Or then you'll do that one. So outside of racing and motorsports and NASCAR, what other hobbies do you have?
Well, I'm thinking about it a lot right now because we're in the fall, but I'm a huge college football fan. I grew up in Nebraska. I went to the University of Nebraska, so I am just a miserable person who is always optimistic about the future. But actually, we're having a decent season, so I'm pretty happy about that. But big college football fan. Also, I got into mountain biking as a COVID hobby. So
Nice.
was living in the Richmond area in 2020. And there's a phenomenal state park there called Pocahontas State Park. It's got like 65 miles of mountain bike trails. And so my wife and I did a lot of hiking there. And then in COVID, I was like looking for things to do and just really got into mountain biking. And it's actually, maybe you can see the tail end of the tire back there hidden behind me. So I have like gone all in on mountain biking. It's like I can't afford to or have the time to be a race car driver, but that is my adrenaline kick. Also, COVID hobby is I got big into baking. Like I have a huge sweet tooth, and so I love to bake. And the church ladies they have a time when Pastor John brings in like desserts that are better than theirs. They're like, I've had some times where they're like, I need that recipe.
That's like the greatest compliment there is.
Truly.
Yeah. My grandma's church growing up was big potluck church. Now I don't trust eating other people's cooking, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
But especially when you get what I'm saying. There's people who have 25 cats in their house, and I'm like, how long did this sit on your counter? And am I eating cat hair?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just me. But on to the question that I was talking about earlier.
So for this one, what was your favorite moment of the 2025 season? That could be personal, like that could be just straight up something on the track. Like interpret it however you want to interpret it.
That's a great question. I think like 2025, when I think about the NASCAR season, I'm just kind of like, ugh. Like that's like the first thought that comes to mind, just because it was like so shrouded in just playoff discussion and the lawsuit and all this stuff. But honestly, like personally, I loved this season from like for me for content creation and a lot of the opportunities I got. So really, I think it boils down to like what you said. Probably my experiences at Richmond and Bristol this year. Having some connections and being in the garage for those races, and particularly Bristol because it was my first time there. My dad and I getting to share that weekend together was really special, and just like saw a lot of cool and interesting races over the weekend. So
Yeah.
that was a really special weekend.
Nice. I realized that I was talking about two
Yeah.
questions ahead and not one question ahead. I'm all over the place this week for some reason, but Blake, anyways.
So these next two on the last one, we kind of merged them together a little bit. So if you were given the reins for the day on making changes to the next gen car, what would you change? And then also on controversial topics, how do you feel about the playoffs, and would you change that?
Yeah. So as far as the next gen car, I would go with changing the tires back. That would be the number one thing I would do. I like to see the horsepower increase, but I think one of the biggest issues is that we've seen improvement with Goodyear, but I think like there's a bigger contact patch with the wider tires. Also, I don't love the single lug, and just because of like some recent conversations with Brandon from the Pit Marine, like that's caused a bunch of chaos into the like pit crew ecosystem.
Yeah.
I don't like hate the one lug, but like I prefer the 5 lugs. Like that feels NASCAR.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like we lost a little bit of identity with that. But like the smaller tires, just if you have less contact patch, that feels like harder to drive, right? And easier to wear out the tires. So that would be kind of the number one thing. I do think you get into a certain point where if you go down the horsepower route, like I don't know. I would love to see 900 horsepower, don't get me wrong, but also I think in some ways we have to be realistic about what that might cost and
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah.
So that'd be the thing I changed to the next gen car. As far as the playoff system, so I feel like I was open-minded to it at first, but like it hasn't done much for me. In fact, I think it's just made me madder and madder. Like over the last couple of years, I feel like I've been cheering for who I thought was most deserving to win the races, and
Yeah.
like being like I'm dreading, like honestly dreading like a Joey Logano situation last year. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to see this happen. Just like feeling bad for people, or like what happened with Denny, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Larson had a phenomenal year, and you can make the argument like he had the most points. Like he definitely was a deserving winner, but like the system almost makes it where you're cheering for like not a bad outcome rather than a good
Yeah.
outcome. And
Yeah.
that's not how you want it to be. So I will be okay if they move it to a 10 race like chase. I have some nostalgia around that. I think that's a fairly good compromise. Like you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. I have become part of the 36, full season camp. Just because I think like if NASCAR is really trying to like do a reset, which it feels like they're trying to do, get back
Yeah.
to the roots, that feels like the best approach, most legitimate approach. But I'll be okay with the 10 race chase.
Yeah. Yeah. I share pretty good on that because I'm in the 36 race camp, but I feel like the best compromise to just get it done and not make a huge drastic change is just go back to the 10 race chase, even though that's probably going to be hard for them to kind of tuck their tails and say, "Hey, we made a mistake for the past 10 years. We're going to go back to
Yeah.
something else." But yeah, and also too, like I was a big Tony Stewart fan growing up, so like I have a lot of nostalgia with the 10 race chase because he was historically one to do good, get to the chase, and then just turn it on out of nowhere and make the deep run.
Absolutely. He was the king of turning it on. I mean, that 2011 championship run, but even like, the joke about Tony Stewart back in the day was like he doesn't like really care until it hits summertime, and then like summer Tony just like
Yeah,
won everything and then got hot into the fall.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm in the same boat.
And two, like you still get eliminations. It's not set in stone what time, but like mathematically 2 races in, you're going to have 2 people at least that can't. And is it such a bad thing if one year we do get to the last race and you do have a championship for it again, naturally. But if you have 2, you have 2. And if somebody locks it up one race before, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I know it's not what TV wants, but you can live with it every now and then.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like I think what was fun about the chase era is like that first year you had like 5 drivers eligible, and there were some years where it was 3 or 4, or some years 2, right? Like I think there was one
Yeah.
year where Jimmy had to finish like 20th or something. But like you're still like, can he do it? Is he
Yeah.
gonna pull it off? Like, is he gonna
Yeah.
choke it away? So I think there's still that unknown. I feel like it's gonna be a rare day, especially in today's NASCAR, where somebody does lock it up early.
Yeah.
And especially like I don't know if how they'll do it. Like I'm a big fan of stage points, not necessarily stage breaks.
Yeah.
And so that's another factor too, right? Like if you do that calculation of not just who finishes the highest, but like, okay, you can maybe get stage points on top of where you need to finish
Yeah.
to try and get that championship.
Yeah, because I know personally I've been in the camp of if you take stage breaks away, I'm fine with the points, but if you take the breaks away, that almost just fixes in one swipe road courses and super speedways because you're back
Absolutely.
to there's actually strategy at road courses, and you're gonna have less Talladega races where they ride around in a parade formation like 2 seconds off the pace because they know, well, if we can stretch 2 extra laps out of fuel or 3, we can make it to the stage break, pit, no time penalty really. We're all back at it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I definitely agree. The whole take away the breaks, still award stage points. I mean, like you said, that's going to fix a lot of the issues that we have with, road courses and super speedways.
Yeah. So I know we already asked for your favorite 2025 memory, but now for all time, go all the way in the nostalgia bag if that's where you want to go. But all time, what's like the moment that you will always remember? Like is your favorite?
Probably the one I probably think about the most is 2015 Fall Martinsville. I was in grad school in North Carolina at the time, and my dad got us tickets through Sprint. He closely worked. He didn't work for Sprint, but worked closely with Sprint. So we got tickets a lot of years to Kansas Speedway. But then we were like, hey, let's do Martinsville while I was out there. And that was it was just a crazy day. Like it was raining, and so the race was delayed, and it was Jeff Gordon's last win, like in the dark. Like it was wild. And of course, Joey versus Matt, and Matt taking him out. And my dad had been in the Kansas race like a week or 2 ago where that all started. So my dad always jokes, he's like, I saw it start and I saw it end.
Yeah.
So that was like and that race itself was so special, and it's the only time I've been to Martinsville. So that just like I think about that day, and one of my favorite moments is, there's this feeling of just like awe and perspective. Like everybody knew this was probably the last time Jeff Gordon was going to win, but just how momentous it was.
Yeah.
And as we're leaving the track, like, I don't know, this is maybe 30 minutes, an hour after the race, because nobody wants to leave. Like, this is just one of those special moments. I see this crew of like 4 or 5 older guys, all in like 90s Jeff Gordon gear, and they are just like biggest grins on their faces, just laughing, smiling. And I was like, I'm so happy for those guys. Like, that they got to see Jeff's last win in their like clearly older attire. It was just so special.
That's awesome. Did you have one of the hot dogs?
Yeah, we were fortunate. We were they put us up in a suite. Just another like really cool thing.
Funneled
so
you
we
guys
just had a
dogs.
buffet. We were just scooping them out. I don't know how many I had that day, but it was quite a few.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's a bucket list track for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. What are you looking forward to most next NASCAR season?
I'm looking toward a fresh start. Like obviously the playoff stuff's not decided. I do feel like maybe some of the stage stuff might change for next year. We got the added horsepower. So I feel like a fresh start. Hopefully the lawsuit will be over at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Just because those things were such a distraction and like it sucked away from the enjoyment, I think, of the racing when every week it's like, well, trying to make this matter and explain how it matters when like ultimately it comes down to William Byron crashing with a flat tire with 3 laps to
Mhm.
go.
Yeah.
So I think if that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. As far as specific things, I do think San Diego would be very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them pull that off. I'm a little bit skeptical about the length of the road course. Like I think we've seen enough data to say that like 3 miles is kind of long for a road course for NASCAR. That
Yeah.
like 2.5 is in that sweet spot. Maybe even do like a let's even do a short road course. I don't know. That could be fun somewhere. But I think that race has some real big potential.
Yeah. I'm excited about that one. I think it's like visually it's just gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited about that for sure. Let's see. Okay. So back to questions specific to your experience. How many in-person races have you attended? And feel free to like ballpark it if you don't know exactly off the top of your head.
No, that's a great question. It's something I do think about a lot because my grandpa, my pawpaw, like he journaled things, and I think to a certain point he didn't have like a full record, but I mean he went to like hundreds of races like easily in his lifetime, and so I've tried to keep track. Like I do have a list of every racetrack I've been to. Maybe not every race, like some of that from childhood I don't necessarily remember, but it's definitely let's just say for NASCAR races alone, not local short tracks, I'd probably, counting trucks, Xfinity, all that, that's probably in that like 35 to 50 range. Um, if you add on local short tracks, it's probably double or maybe even triple that number because I just love
Dang.
going to local tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to hit him with the next one?
Yeah. So, out of all the tracks you've been to, what would you say would be like your favorite and then your least favorite track?
Hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. So my favorite So Martinsville is the best racing I've ever seen. Like that, just awesome. But my favorite track, I have to go Daytona. I love Daytona. You walk in there and it just feels special. It's so big. It's unlike anything else. Like I've not been to Talladega, but Talladega, no slander towards it,
Yeah.
is a copy of Daytona, right? Like it is.
Yeah.
Plus, you have the road course there, which makes it special. The garage layout is super cool, and I mean, just as far as stadiums go, I've been to a lot of football stadiums and sporting venues. Like, I would put that up there with any of them. Like, it is, especially after the redo, the
Yeah.
renovations they did a decade ago. Like, it's unreal, especially for as big of a facility as it is. So Daytona is my favorite track. You could probably twist my arm for any time I would want to go down there. Like there's never a bad race at Daytona.
Yeah.
Least favorite for a long time it was Pocono. For a long time I hated Pocono. I couldn't stand the fact that you had two of the same races in an 8-week span. Like
Yeah.
and even further back in the day, like I was looking at a schedule from the 80s. They were like not even they were a month apart. Like in what world
Good
does that make
Lord.
sense?
Yeah.
So that just used to just tick me off, and they were 500 miles, and they were long, and they were boring, and I just did not like them. I did get to go to Pocono a couple years ago, and I loved it. It was a cool experience. I was like, I kind of get it now. So I've really softened towards Pocono over the years, and it's a really cool place to see a race. And those fans, I mean, they pack it out, and it feels old school NASCAR vibes.
Yeah.
Was my most hated. Now it's not. But I will say I have been to some. I love local tracks, and I won't name the worst one I've been to, but I'll just say I've been to some dingy dirt tracks,
Yeah.
some
They
stanky,
exist.
dank places that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm not going back there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that checks out for sure.
Yeah, Daytona. So my first race ever there was the 2015 500 where Logano won in the kind of controversy over Dale Jr. And that was in the middle of them doing the Daytona Rising project. So I've never got to experience that because I went to the 2023 500, but we just had general admission in the infield. So we watched
Mm,
on top of the Cup garage. So I've got to see from across the track what Daytona Rising looks like, but I've never got to go up into the grandstands and actually experience it.
right. It's similar to you. I was there in 2014 for the summer race, and then 2024 for the 500. So
Okay.
I did get to see the difference, and it was. I mean, in 2014, literally, it was like half of a metal chair bolted into wood, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this that's not what I was expecting." And now
Yeah.
it's this amazing stadium. And Blake, I think you just like triggered, you like winter soldiered me. You triggered something in my head. Like I think another reason, jumping back like to 5 million questions ago, another reason I hate Joey Logano is because of all the like controversial wins he had over Dale Jr. Like
Yeah.
I'm still not over those. Dale Jr. definitely won Talladega in 2015. Like I'm
Yes.
sorry, that's a load of crock. I'm furious about that race still.
I to this day will still contest the Daytona 500 because I was there and we had an 8-hour car ride home of me and my dad. Just there's no way that we just went to watch our least favorite driver win the Daytona 500 over our favorite by like the backstretch rule at the time. We were like, that can't happen,
Terrible.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, where are we? We're at
So, you want me to just go
Yeah,
for it?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. So for what tracks have that you haven't been to yet, would you put at the top of like your bucket list, like you have to get to in the next few years?
Yeah. I've been really fortunate to go to a lot of really cool tracks. So I think for me, I'm trying to be really selective and just mark ones off the list. For me, it's Phoenix. Like that place looks beautiful
Yeah.
and all the renovations they've done. Like I know it's maybe not the best racing, but I think some of that's been overblown because it's been the championship race and there's been all that but like I appreciate Phoenix for what it is, but it just looks stunning. I've not been to Arizona. I really want to go on Rattlesnake Hill. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one I am circling for next year. I might try and go to the spring, especially with the IndyCar doubleheader. That just I'm
Yeah.
always about
Yeah.
getting your bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Coda just would be awesome. I want to go to an F1 race that does feel bucket list, and so Coda feels like a natural choice. Montreal is also cool. Like Montreal's been on my
Yeah.
list to travel to, but I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe I should just go to the NASCAR Coda race. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
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 I want them to take at least the lower series back to Montreal for a year or two. The
Please.
nostalgia in me, I miss the like 08, 09 Busch cars just ripping Montreal.
Those races rocked. And also, like, speaking of like NASCAR misstepping, like I don't even think this is a rumor. Like, I think like Montreal said, "Hey, we want a cup date" in like 2013, and they were like, "Yeah, no." After they
Yeah.
like packed out that place, the races were so good. Like, I don't know, man. Like NASCAR we could have been racing in Montreal for like a decade now, and
Yeah.
we're still trying to get there.
Yeah. No, I bringing it back to Phoenix. I lived out in Phoenix for about 3 years and
Mm.
it's an absolutely beautiful city. It's insane. I wasn't a NASCAR fan then when I really wish I was because I could have went to the freaking championship.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool city. So if you ever go, I said this to Tyler on the last episode. If you ever go to Phoenix, I can give you recommendations on where to go, like to eat, where to go in general, where not to go. My biggest recommendation is don't go to Mesa, which is where I lived, because there were across the street from my apartment was a DEA drug bust happening like twice a week. So yeah, not
Don't go
not the
there.
greatest area. Don't go
Yeah.
there. No. Not at all. But yeah, so all right. This next one I think is a fun one because we talk about a favorite and a least favorite paint scheme every week. But what was your favorite paint scheme of 2025 and what was your least favorite?
My favorite and least favorite. I really, and this is going to show my bias, but I really love the King's Hawaiian on Denny Hamlin. I thought that just like
Yeah.
looks good. I thought they did a great job with design. I love King's Hawaiian in general. So
Yeah.
that's definitely one I think about when I think about like 2015 schemes. That maybe isn't the best, but that's the one that I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah.
Probably the worst scheme. I feel like Hayek had some stinkers. I feel like they just
Yeah.
had some
Yeah.
like, here is generic race car.
Yeah.
Like I know some people hated the Jack Links one. Like that one's I thought was like kind of funny.
Yeah.
That one didn't bother me, but I do feel like they had a couple. It was like, well, what are
They
we
would
doing here?
I feel like they would have like absolute crap or like absolute S tier.
Yeah.
Like one
No
or
in
the
between.
other.
No in between.
Cause like the what was it, the Fun Pops car
Yeah.
or something? That was really cool.
That what was it? The penguin.
Oh, the
The Instagram
pudgy
account.
penguins. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I liked that one.
That one was funny.
Yeah, that's a goal, guys. Grow the Instagram account enough so you can sponsor a race car. Like that's
Yeah.
Well,
that's
fun fact. We have sponsored a race car.
nice. Okay, I love that.
We sponsored.
We put a
Oh, okay.
small
Yeah,
logo
yeah, yeah.
on Brayton
Yeah, we
Laster's
we
car.
were a part of that atrocity of sponsorship on
Man,
that.
I should have
car.
got a picture because I did that for a buddy, Bump Draft Media,
Okay.
for Hunter
Okay.
for him. So he was on that car. So I should have got a picture for you guys.
Yeah, no, we
We did. I think it was the Michigan race where,
yeah.
and he messaged us and he was like, "Hey, so I'm really sorry. That car blew up, so I'm gonna try and put everybody's stickers back on the secondary car, but TBD on that. We'll try to get you on another one if not." And I was like, "Hey, man, it was it still checked the bucket list.
Right.
I have a picture of it. I have the render of it. We were on there. I was like,
Somebody remade it in iRacing.
Oh, yeah.
So we also were
That's
on an
cool.
iRacing car. So
Live in infamy forever.
yeah, literally. And then also the car was brought up on Door Bumper Clear too.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, that's funny.
Yeah. That's cool.
Fun little story. Let's see. Okay, we're getting down to the last. What is your Mount Rushmore of paint schemes?
Okay, Mount Rushmore. So I'm probably for this criteria. I feel like I can't go specialty paint schemes because I feel like for me it's like what are the most iconic, the ones that
Okay.
like, stand out. Because those are great, but like if you're putting Mount Rushmore, that's like all time consistent. Like I'm looking at that baseball paint scheme and I want to say that one.
Yeah.
But I will actually go just the red Bud 8. My
Mhm.
preference is on the 3 logo down the side versus the pinstripe logo.
Yeah.
That's my both are great, but like the red Bud 8, the black Goodwrench GM Chevrolet number 3, that's on there. The 43 Richard Petty, got the Petty Blue STP. And then for my fourth one, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna say it. Tide Ride. I'm going basically any edition of the Tide Ride, but like particularly the number 17 Darrell Waltrip. That one feels excellent, but like Ricky Rudds were great. Ricky Cravens were great. Like, Tide doesn't look bad on a race car. Even okay, Michael McDowell's is not on the Mount Rushmore, but his Tide Ride at Phoenix was also great. Just that scheme's so good.
It's just one of those that like transfers really well to a car.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely like some that don't, like
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that. That's one I feel like a lot of people don't mention.
Yeah.
Is the Tide, but because I feel like everybody says, oh yeah, like Rainbow Warrior.
That one's great. Rainbow Warriors is
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And the Flames. Like those are
Yeah.
both awesome
Honestly,
schemes.
okay, hot take. If I was asked this question, I would put the Flames over Rainbow Warrior.
I think I have to agree on nostalgia because I watched the Flames a lot more growing up than I ever got to see the Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same age range where I remember the the flames more than I do the rainbow. But I feel like the rainbow car, you didn't want to see that sucker coming. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what NASCAR memorabilia do you collect?
So what's weird about me is I'm pretty much a minimalist. I really try to be. I mean, I grew up with a lot of diecasts and things like that, but the one thing that I really allow myself to have are hero cards. I
Okay.
Okay.
love them. I think they are so cool. When I was a kid, they were all up on my wall, and like every year we went to Kansas Speedway, I get back, I'd be like, "We're putting a fresh batch up, baby. We're taking the old ones down. We're putting the new ones up." I actually started to put those in a binder this year. So I'll
Nice.
probably make some videos about that in the
Okay.
off
Heck
season
yeah.
with just some of what I got. And I don't even have all of them. Like I think the ones from a kid were back home. And eventually, what my hope is, my papa had just collections of these, like, and they're in his home in North Carolina. Eventually, I'd like to take those into my own safekeeping and store those and try and preserve those, but also
Yeah.
just like cherish those because he's got a couple boxes of just like unreal stuff when it comes to
Dang.
cards or magazines but particularly hero cards.
Yeah. Do you have one that's like your holy grail one, or maybe a few? I don't know if it's probably hard to pick, but
Yeah, I don't know if I have a holy grail one, but one I think about a lot, maybe just because it was like up on my wall as a kid, like directly across from me, and it was a unique paint scheme, was Kevin Harvick's 29 Reese's car
Yeah.
in the like COT wing car. Like I just was like, I thought that paint scheme looks really cool. It was cool that Reese's was on a car, but that one was just like, I think whenever I got that new batch, I was like, I'm leaving you up. Like you deserve to stay another year. So that
heck
one for me
yeah.
is like I love that hero card. Even though I think it's actually, as far as hero cards go, like pretty bland. Like I think it's just picture, basic information. Not like some of them are like I think holographic, like you ship
Yeah.
them around, or some of them have like a really cool like matte coating to them. But this one's just I don't know, just nostalgia.
Yeah.
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 I got so kind of similar. I got passed down from my dad when we moved and when we started looking through stuff, old like race programs and tickets that he
Mm.
had. So I know I have the program and I think I have the ticket, but it was for the championship race at Atlanta where it was Petty's last race. Kawicki won the championship and I think it was Bill Elliott that won the race or something like that.
I think that's right. Yeah, it was like that race, Jeff Gordon's first race,
Yeah.
Richard Petty's last. Like it was the helicopters too over
Yeah.
the track.
Yeah.
Like that race is like how a lot of people think about my like 2015 Martinsville experience
Yeah.
of just like pure like it was everything amazing about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a program from, I think it's the first Atlanta after Dale died.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm,
And it was literally like 2 weeks afterwards or
Yeah.
something like that. It's actually sitting on my coffee table right now. But yeah, so that brings us to our last question. So we're gonna open the floor to you. Anything you want to plug, anything you want to discuss, any questions you want to ask us, feel free. The floor is yours.
gosh, there's so much pressure that the floor is mine. I mean, I could fill the next couple hours if I needed to. Like
Yeah.
you know, if there's that saying of like, you know, if you had to talk about something for 24 hours, like what would it be? Is like, well, I know what it would be. It's
Yeah.
race cars. I could do that. I'm curious. We talked about this a little bit. I'm curious, like, what are some changes you guys would like to see happen in NASCAR? I mean, we talked about next gen playoff stage racing a little bit, but like, what would be I feel like we're all kind of in agreement of like NASCAR needs to change some things, but what would you
Yeah.
guys change?
You want to
Okay.
go first?
Yeah. So I'll slightly touch on the next gen car. I feel like it was NASCAR's attempt to pull pieces from other motorsports that maybe we didn't need to.
Mm,
Like you said, skinnier tire. I like going back to 5 lug because you can have the thicker sidewall where you can lean on it more. make the cars looser. Overall, horsepower's going in the right direction. If we can get the tires smaller, I think it'll make it harder to drive. You'll get some more nostalgic, like just NASCAR racing at some tracks where we don't get it now. Schedule wise, I kind of like where we're at. I think we've kind of weeded out the tracks that don't necessarily need 2 dates anymore to offer new stuff. It's a pretty good balance of your southeast home heart of NASCAR, but also we do go around to a lot of good tracks. I hope that we move at least, I'm more and more to the chase camp as I talk about it, just because it's easier to get it done. Yeah, I think the playoffs have ran its course. And the one thing, and this might be like, I'm not that old, but this might be like a really like old-minded way of thinking, but I miss when you had a primary car. Like you would run your one-offs, but every week, like I'm a Chase fan, so we get the blue Napa 9 most weeks, and I like that. I think for your more casual or somebody getting into it, you know what to look for rather than
Everyone knew, like, okay, you see Home Depot, that's Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
You see DuPont, you know that's Jeff Gordon.
it's not like
It's like, oh, what car is,
I guess
like,
Denny might be a decent example because it's like, is he progressive? Is he Kings of Y? And is he AM, PM? Like, you can go to Trackhouse. Which schemes are they running this
Yeah.
week?
even like 2311. I mean,
For
why
sure.
why do we have 3 Monster Energy cars on the track putting
I say more. Let's have the whole. Let's go like that Camping World Truck Series race we had, like where half the field was camp. Let's do half the field Monster, a third NOS, a third Red Bull. Let's just fully send it and
do
just
the
eject some
energy
caffeine.
drink 500.
Yes, can you imagine? That'd be actually really cool. But,
do like 2 Celsius cars.
Oh,
do-
yeah.
yeah, right. I forgot. Sorry, Celsius. I forgot about Celsius.
They're new to the game, but
I'm glad you said that because that just like that was a blast from the past, the Camping World race where the owner
I was about to say I don't even know about this.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Oh, cool. Okay.
Just little preface. I have like hardcore been a fan for 2 years, and then
That's right,
growing
yeah.
up was like it was sporadic of watching like with my dad on a Sunday afternoon while I'm sitting on the floor playing with whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
the owner of Camping World at the time, they were the title sponsor of the truck series. He pretty much said, if you don't have a sponsor or you need a sponsor, I will foot the bill. And there were it was probably 2/3 of the field was running some sort of Camping World scheme with Camping World on it.
That's awesome.
Like it was. I think it was like 15 to 20 trucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
legit had that many, and I think it might have been. Blake, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might have been 2020. So there was. It was definitely a time where they were trying to figure out like sponsorship or get some stuff going, and it was just like this. It rocked. Like, I don't even know if it was a good deal for the teams or not, but as a fan, it was hilarious.
Yeah. and that too, it was like when Bush a couple years ago opened it up to the fans to name a race.
I was just about to say this.
And they named it the Bushy McBush race. Wasn't that Kansas?
That was Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't Kyle Busch win the pole
He
or
did.
something like that? Yeah.
He like won some. I can't remember if it was the race or the pole or both.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I think I'm kind of in the same boat as Blake when it comes to the next gen car and stuff. One thing that like I would like to see from NASCAR in general is I think that this is something not to do at all with racing or anything, but I think take some inspiration from these early 2000s merch and
100%.
put it into into what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Because okay, for instance, I have a Carson Hocevar shirt that's the Ride the Dente, the one I wore at Atlanta this year. That shirt feels very early 2000s to me, kind of thing.
100%. Yeah.
Going more back into the all over print, the stuff that almost looks for lack of a better term, tacky, but it looks cool, like, at the same time. Because, like, you know, I'm sort, I guess you would say, new into the sport. And you know, before I got into NASCAR and when I was in college, I was big into like vintage shopping and like style thrifting, stuff like that. And I mean, people will pay. I saw someone selling a Jeff Gordon Jurassic Park ride T-shirt for like, and it was like all over print for like $500. And I'm like,
I'm sure.
that's crazy. But I'm like, imagine, imagine you got an all over print Chase Briscoe shirt. This sounds so stupid to be like, this is something I would change. But, it's
I
just.
get it. We could do a whole podcast just about NASCAR merch and
yes.
how it could be better.
Because it
I'm
makes me so mad because I'm like, Ryan Blaney is my favorite driver. He is probably the one driver that I have the least amount of merch for that I actually like.
Penske's merch, and I like Blaney. It's so bad.
It is.
Some teams, some drivers just have horrible merch, and you're like, I would never wear that.
Yeah, like literally.
I'll make fun of Hendrick. I do not like 90% of the here's our special hat for this weekend. Like
all the Larson.
Larson and Elliott always get them, and then most of the time Byron and Bowman get them. Sometimes they look really good, and sometimes I'll see them and I'm like,
it's like neon
who's gonna
green.
spend $50 on that hat?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, seriously.
Yeah. But you talking about that, so I miss goofy NASCAR commercials, whether it be like the mobile one, Clint Boyer is just tiny standing next to a bottle dancing, like
Napa know-how.
Yeah, like just stuff like that. Like I don't feel like we see many drivers in commercials anymore, let alone even just like funny ones. Like just let them go on there and make a fool of themselves.
I know.
I mean, the only one I can think of two that ran this past season being Ross Chastain with Busch.
Oh, yeah.
That one
was good.
That was a good one. And then Reddick was in an Xfinity Mobile.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it only ran like maybe half the season or something like that.
I do kind of remember that now. But the Ross where he has the tent on top of the car.
He's like, what's wrong with going in circles? Not those kind of circles or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that stuff. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like over time, we've obviously lost having like true superstars of the sport. But we've also lost, I feel like, getting true personalities out. And
100%.
I think some of that goes to the penalties that you can get now. And I'm not saying that I want every week somebody to go punch somebody in the face. But if it happens twice a season, it's, whatever, I guess. Like I liked the boys have at it era to an extent. I think it got very dangerous at times with like Brad and Carl. But to an extent, I miss like Kevin Harvick getting out of a car, even though I didn't really like it at the time, and you knew exactly what he was feeling, and he was going to speak his mind because they weren't going to fine him $25,000, $50,000 a couple days later.
Yeah, not 100%. Like I earlier of this year, I was watching a lot of the 1990 races on NASCAR Classics, and it was so interesting to me to watch drivers be interviewed as they got wrecked out or DNF or after the race. And like most of the time, it's not that it wasn't like polished. Like they certainly like knew how to speak on camera, but it wasn't like these like canned answers either. It wasn't like, oh, I suck. That was the worst day ever. Hate my team. Like sometimes be like, hey, that guy's an idiot. Like I don't know what he was doing. But
yeah.
there was just sort of this like just real authenticity you got from them. And we can't turn back the clock to the 1990s, either. But like even I think about Tony Stewart, right, who just would say how he was feeling after races.
The Tony Stewart core edits on TikTok.
The best one was Fontana after him and Logano got into it, where I forget who it was interviewing him, but they're walking through the garage because Tony does not want to be
I think
interviewed.
it was Steve Burns, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. And he was like, I'm gonna bust his ass.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah, what do you
like,
think I'm gonna do? Or something like that.
like
Yeah.
runs me all the way down into the grass, complains about how everybody else races, but he's gonna do that. Like, how do you think I feel? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great interview. Yeah.
Hocevar is like the last or like the only one I feel like that we still kind of get on a decently consistent basis some quotes and some good interviews out of. At
Yeah,
least
and
this year.
I hope they don't cage him, right? Like don't muzzle him. Like what he said about Mexico City was not cool, but like
Yeah.
also I thought his apology was very quick and genuine, basically being like, I'm a kid from Michigan who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
yeah, right. Like that also felt like not a canned apology either.
Yeah.
And so like don't muzzle him. Like let them have, make mistakes. Like let
Yeah.
them try and show their personality. And so I think that's why a lot of people have gravitated towards Hocevar, because he just does share his personality pretty unabashedly. And so
Yeah.
we certainly need more of that.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
Atlanta, the whole, well, we're here to win races, not like be a boy band and all be friends. Like, and then to go on Dale Jr.'s podcast and kind of double down on it and be like, I don't have friends that are NASCAR drivers. Like, I have friends that I race with, that I do this with, but like, I'm not friends with any of them. I'm here to basically like beat them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like many other people are like, hey, this is exactly how I feel right in this moment. Let me share it with you.
Right. And I do feel like Ross, we were getting some of that with Ross, and then like there's the old Mr. H conversation of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey buddy, can't be, and it's like, come on, like we need that Ross back. Like
Yeah.
wreck
Yeah.
some people. Just I don't know. I
Yeah.
loved how Ross, I mean, I hated it when him and Denny were getting into it, but also it was like very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and also like guess what? Those drivers, they worked it out on track.
And then
Mhm.
you
They
go to the Roval this year and they're arms around each other, like having a conversation after the race when Ross dumped him into the wall. Like sometimes you have to have the disagreements and the on track stuff, off track stuff, almost to like build the in garage relationships. I feel like,
For
if that
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that does. That does.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. John, hit us with all your socials and stuff, so where the people can find you.
Yeah, so just Nascarjon, Jon, at on Instagram, on TikTok, and also on YouTube. I've got shorts on there, but I'm starting to work on some more longer form stuff that will hopefully be leaking out throughout the off season. So that's Nascarjon 1948. So yeah, those are
Awesome.
spreading across like a plague. Is
Yeah.
Nascarjon taking over all the social media
Yeah.
platforms?
Heck yeah. Well, guys, thank you for being on here. We do really appreciate it. It's really cool doing these interviews during the off season, because leading up to off season, we were kind of like, what do we do? Do we watch the Cars movie and pick a side and debate the movie over
Yeah.
each other like we're diehard fans of Chick Hicks and Lightning McQueen? Mike, that was definitely something that we pitched for a minute, but
That did get bounced around.
yeah. But
I love that idea.
yeah, my buddy at work he asked me one day, he's like, what are y'all going to do during the off season? I'm like, I have no clue. He's like, you should do this. And I brought it to Blake and he's like, it's not a bad idea.
Not bad.
Yeah. But definitely having the opportunity for a lot of the people who are, that everybody sees on TikTok, Instagram, and all of that, being able to kind of get a little bit of the story behind the screen, it's been really cool, because we did Tyler was on last week.
Yeah.
This week I thought you were next week, because next week we have John, the motorsports enthusiast.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So I was like, I texted Blake yesterday. I'm like, which John are we interviewing? He's like, NASCAR John. I'm like, okay, cool. So
Gotta get your John straight.
yeah, I know, literally. But yeah, no, it's cool, and definitely getting to sit down with other creators and just have an hour to just talk motorsports is freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm so grateful you guys reached out to me, invited me. I was trying to put out the bat signal to like do some podcasts and stuff during the
Yeah.
off season, so I haven't even had the chance to do that cuz you guys reached out to me, and so
Yeah.
I'm really grateful, and it's fun to just connect and talk and have the opportunity to really decompress from the season, but also talk about what we're excited about and just the sort of state of the sport as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because I tried. I was like, okay, at the top of this list, who's always on my For You page? Who do I interact with the most? Who's somebody that I want to like? I think would be really fun to sit down with and have the conversation because like we've had you and we've had Tyler so far. Like you get a decent sense of the person through watching the TikTok, but then it's also really fun to sit down and have the conversation where we especially but then also the listeners of the podcast will kind of have more of the understanding of the person behind the TikTok too.
Right. Yeah, it's always cool to just get a better look at these. Like they're always fun when get to do a deeper dive.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I believe that wraps it up here. This has been the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin,
I'm Blake.
and
Nascarjon.
we will see you guys next time. Bye.